Now, where are you from?
North Atlanta. North side. Gwinnett, G County, whatever you want to call it. Still North side.
I see. And what was it like for you growing up in North Atlanta? Paint that picture for us.
Man. Lit, parties, chairs everywhere, lit, turned up, man. It's just like any other side, east side, west side, south side, ain't no difference. Still hood, still street, still same shit, still in the bando. You know what's going on. Okay.
Now, would you say your upbringing was rough?
I moved fairly a lot. I moved a lot before I came to the north. So, yeah, so. I ain't gonna flex it a little bit. I mean, living with my aunt is a whole nother story than living with my mom and living in the streets. You know what I'm saying? So, everybody got a rough upbringing.
What was your roughest point growing up?
To be honest, when I had to go through the system, you know, foster care, stuff like that, being taken away from my mother, that was the worst thing that I had to deal with. But you know, we grow older, we go past that.
How long did you have to do foster care for?
Roughly like 3-4 months, 5 months.
So short stint.
Yeah, short.
Why were you taken away?
Man, keep it short. Me and my brother was just in the streets, running the streets. Me and my younger brother wasn't going to school, wasn't doing what we were supposed to do. You know how that go. DFACS, 12, they get involved, and it's over.
And they blame the parent for it and that sort of thing.
Yeah, all that bullshit.
Now, when you were going to school, what type of student were you in school?
One of those type that get my work done and so I can get the hell on. That's point blank period. I just want to get my shit done and get on. That's the type of person. That's the type of child I was in school.
Graduated high school?
Yes, sir. Got the fuck out of high school.
Tried college?
Signed up for college and stuff. I just didn't go all the way through with it, but I actually want to like hop into it now, like try to get some college work done and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Why'd you start it up but not even go through with it? What happened there?
At the time, I was struggling. Like hotel to hotel, all through Gwinnett County.
So a finance situation.
Yeah, finance situation.
I see.
Not knowing the right direction when you get out of high school, like, you know, everybody tell you go to college, but if you're not for sure that's what you want to do, and then you get out of school, it's like you're kind of stuck. And then you might get drifted off into doing something else. In my case, parties. I got involved into party promotion and stuff like that, and just got focused off trying to go forward with school.
Was that tough, the party promotion game?
Tough, but fun, easy. I learned a lot from it. So, I mean.
When you say party promotions and stuff like that, like investing your money into it and stuff as well, or just more like the promoting side strictly?
It started off just with the promoting side. Started off strictly with the promoting side, and then eventually when I left the company that I was working with, and I started my own company with a few other people, you know, it was more so me investing into parties, investing into things and me making my money back, so.
I see people win and lose with that. How were you with that? Did you win more than you lost? Lost more than you won?
I took a lot of losses. I took more losses than I won, to be honest. Took a lot of losses, but I learned a lot from it. You know, just from taking those losses or going through whatever I had to go through, putting up $2,000 for a party and walking out with $200 or $400, yeah, you're gonna be hurt. Especially if that's all the money that you put into it. But you know, you take losses to gain a win, gain a W.
Do you think most promoters lose more than they win? Is it hard?
I feel like they do. Well, the ones who's not making any sense. Like, we know who in Atlanta, we know what parties and what promoters is making money, period. We know. from Mansion Lawn to Medusa to wherever we go, we know what promoters making money and who not making money. Period.
Mm. When I see people win, they win big, but I've seen more people lose than win in my personal experience. So I just always was curious about stuff like that.
True.
Now, okay, you're about to go back to college or attempt to go back to college?
Yeah, I'm gonna attempt it, just to have something to lean back on. But music A1 with me. Like, I feel like that's my go. I feel like that's my calling. That's the only way.
Not ashamed to admit that you want to go back to college?
No, not ashamed at all. Shit, look at Bibby.
Well, Look at Bibby is one example. And there's only very few examples of people that are proud to say they went to college or even admit to going to college. You know what I mean? That's not really something that's talked about or promoted or bragged about in the rap hip-hop community amongst rappers. Lil Wayne's done it.
Yep,
he attended University of Houston. Nick Cannon is going to Howard University right now.
For real?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
As successful as he is, he's taking some classes at Howard. And like you mentioned, Lil Bibby made a public announcement saying he was going to enroll back into college and stuff like that.
Yeah, commend him for that, respect.
But a lot of people don't talk about it. Some people have degrees. I remember David Banner talking about his college experience in several interviews. I think Killer Mike went to college, talked about it. But a lot of people don't talk about it. Why do you think that is? Why do you think, is it something that's embarrassing or ashamed for a rapper to say if they went to it? Or
I feel like they may feel like it's embarrassing, or it makes them, I guess, feel or look or seem uncool or weak or whatever the case is. But fuck all that. School can help you. I mean, I'm not saying all kids go to school. Go to college, do what you got to do. But I'm not saying it's for everybody. That's what you need to do. That's where you got to go. No. Do what you feel. But I would suggest go to school.
Now, after you were done with high school and you tried the college thing and it didn't work out because of the finances and stuff like that, was it music after that? Or was it the party promotions and stuff and other things before the music?
Well, I got into party promotion to help with music.
Okay.
But I got more involved into promoting more so than my music.
It took over.
So it took over.
Yeah.
I started hosting parties and actually with the mic hosting parties and stuff like that. And after a while, I start feeling like it's as an artist, they're seeing me too much. So I just was like, nah, I just can't do it.
I see. Now, what was your mom's thoughts or parents' thoughts on when you tried to do college initially the first time, but the finances wasn't looking right and you really couldn't go? Was there any reaction to that?
I was kind of like in a transition. Like, I lived with my aunt, through high school.
Okay.
I graduated when I was living with her. I kind of, we had our little situation. Everybody get kicked out or they leave or whatever the case is, and that was the situation. And I don't know,
That's when the hotels and stuff came into play?
Yeah, that's when everything came into play, pretty much.
I see. What's your relationship with your mom nowadays?
I love my mom.
You guys were able to get the relationship back on track?
It was never off track. It was just, nobody's perfect. Some people make mistakes, some people not all the way ready, or some people make the wrong choices along the line. Nobody's perfect. So, it was one of those situations where, with us, I felt like she loved us so much, she kind of let us do what we wanted to do, and it kind of hurt at the end of the day. That's what it was. So, there's no hard feelings with my mom. I love my mom today.
Did you get back right with your aunt too?
Oh yeah. I love my aunt to death too. Like she was my second mom. She adopted us pretty much after the foster care.
I see.
So she's like my second mom.
Okay, now let me ask you this. What do you tell somebody, right? And let me ask you this too. I mean, do you wish? I mean, obviously you said you were doing the promotions thing after high school and the finances with the college thing didn't work out, and that kind of took over instead of the artist role in the music, which was the overall intention at the end of the day.
Right.
Do you wish you would have done the music thing a little sooner? Do you wish you would have started the music career a little sooner, or did everything play out to how it was supposed to be? Looking back.
I feel like it played out how it was supposed to be. Because if I didn't meet the people that I met, or if I didn't meet the network alone, just the people that I networked with over the years, due to being part of the promotion thing, then I feel like I wouldn't be where I'm at.
I see. Now, what do you say to somebody, let's say they're a kid watching this, about to finish high school, and they got to make the choice of their next step in their life. And let's say they have a passion for music. And it doesn't have to necessarily be a rapper in front of the camera like yourself. It could be, I mean, there's several positions in music, right? DJ, producer, engineer, behind the camera, camera guy, whatever, you know? Do you tell that person, go right into the music after high school if they have a passion for it? Or do you recommend that if they have the opportunity to continue their education, do the education thing and music at the same time? What do you say to that person?
Ultimately, I tell them to do what you feel like is best at heart. That's all I can tell you. I can't tell you anything else. Because I don't want to give you a direct, I don't want to give you something and you run with it. And then it's not the way that you should have went, or whatever the case is at the end of the day. So you follow what's best at heart.
I see. Now, jobs you had growing up, if any?
Kroger's. Kroger. Party City. That probably was like one of my favorite jobs.
Really?
Yeah. Inspire was like a call center. I love that job too, I ain't gonna lie. But somebody like me, like, I just can't work long. I can't. Let me see, another job. I worked at an oil stand. I worked at another call center that was doing something for like electricity. I've had quite a bit of jobs. I just don't, it's not for me.
Quit these jobs, got fired from these jobs? What ended up happening?
Honestly, both. Both.
What were you getting fired for?
It wasn't necessarily like, oh, you're fired. It was one of those, I didn't put my 2 week in, so they put that as, you're fired. You can't come back here.
I see.
I fired you.
Any crazy stories dealing with any of those jobs that you mentioned? Anything out of the norm?
Man, give me an example.
I mean, something that just does not happen on that type of job gig that you just saw was like abnormal. That's not the norm. Like, just, wow, I never thought this would happen while I'm working.
I mean, everybody done, man, nobody don't do their job at work, man. Everybody done witnessed some type of situation where somebody doing something, something at work or they're not supposed to be doing, some sexual shit or whatever the case is. So
I see.
We're not kids. We ain't new to this.
Now, you mentioned your mom, you mentioned your aunt in this interview. What happened with your father?
That guy.
Any relationship? Any relationship with him? Do you even know who he is? Met him?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have a real good relationship. I could speak to him. If he were to talk to me, I could talk to him, but it's not one. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not one of those. We're not. I reach out, try to talk to you. You be my father. No. At this point in my life, I need a supporter. Somebody to support me. I'm already grown, so.
I see. Now, how old were you when your parents separated?
I probably was little. I was young. I remember my younger brother's father being around too, so I was young.
I see. Was that hard to deal with, the separation of your two parents?
No. It's kind of common in our in our household. Like a lot of African American people or black people or whatever, it's common. So it's like,
well, I don't even want to just say that race. I mean, everybody pretty much nowadays comes from a broken home.
Yeah. Looking at it like that, yeah, you're right. But it's common. So it's like some of us is numb to it. We don't pay attention to it, or it doesn't really bother us. Like I said, with me, it doesn't bother me. It has not bothered me. I don't hate my dad. It's just we don't have a relationship like that. It's nothing I don't wish for it, but shit, my dad, I can't take it back.
Was there anybody else that took over that, like, that male figure in your life?
My uncle.
Okay.
My uncle, my cousins.
I see.
Pretty much.
Now, what about as far as siblings?
Like how many?
Yeah, you're not the only child.
No, I got one younger brother.
Okay. And you did mention him in this interview. Yeah. I didn't know if there were anybody else.
Yeah, no, I have one younger brother, Keemy. Shout out to my bro, Keemy.
Anybody else in your family raps aside from yourself, or just you?
Shit. Everybody around me, all my brothers. I mean, all my boys. I call them my brothers. Shit.
But I mean, biological family. Anybody else in your family raps aside from yourself that you're related to?
Not that I know of. No.
Okay.
I guess I'm that guy.
Now, what does your family think about your rap career?
They support it. They like it. They feel like I should keep going. This is something that they've been seeing me do for a while. I guess they feel like there's no turning back. So, shit, they support it. They like it. They 100%.
Was your mom or your aunt supportive from the beginning, or did they have to warm up to it?
It was more so. It was like there was not. I can't really say because it was not. It was more me, but it was me and them. Like I wouldn't all the way present all my music and say, hey, listen to this, and hey, give them something to support or, love from the beginning or whatever the case is. So, I mean, I guess it was down the line when I started being more comfortable with, getting them more involved. I guess they were more very, 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 very supportive and loving it.
Have they ever seen you perform?
I think my aunt has, but my mom hasn't.
What was your aunt's reaction to it?
She wants me to perform all the time. Every time. She wants me to perform for every event that goes on. I'm like, not every event. Come on now, auntie. But nah, yeah, she, yeah.
Now, in regards to your parents or even your aunt, what's the worst thing you put them through?
I can't really. I haven't really put them through too much. That was like, I can say that made them go crazy. Only thing I can say was something. I was in trouble for something that wasn't my fault, and it brought everybody to like a halt in the family. Like, something. It was something big. So I guess that was the biggest thing, but it wasn't much of my fault. So hey.
I see. Now, we talked about a variety of subjects in regards to your upbringing, but generally speaking, what's your message to the youth? What would you tell them today?
You could do anything that you put your mind to. Just go hard. Go hard. Just keep going hard. Don't let nobody stop you. Don't let nobody distract you. Don't let nobody tell you nothing. And one thing that my brother, or that my brother taught me or told me, and that was today, like, regardless of if you feel like nobody is there for you or supporting you or whatever the case is, you do what you got to do. You perfect what you got to perfect. Your craft, whatever it is that you're doing, just you focus on that and do that, and make sure you perfect it. Don't worry about what anybody else got to say. Do what you got to do.
Okay. You were born and raised in North Atlanta?
I was not born, but I was raised.
Okay. Where were you born? Just curious.
Indianapolis, Indiana.
Oh, okay.
That town, yeah.
And how old were you when you actually moved to Atlanta?
I actually moved here in '99. I moved to Atlanta in '99, but
I mean, what age, I should say?
man, probably was like, I want to say 10, 11, 12.
Ah, okay.
Somewhere around there. I was like in 4th grade, started 5th grade, so somewhere around there.
Yeah, because something you had said in the beginning, and I forgot to ask you about, you said, you kind of alluded to the fact that you said you moved around a lot when you were little, so I didn't know if that was moving around a lot throughout Atlanta, or maybe you were born somewhere else.
No, I was born in Indianapolis, Indiana. I moved to, my brother was born in Alaska. So,
wow.
Yeah, so our whole family just moved to Alaska. And then from there, we stayed there. We was there for, I went to, all the way up to 4th grade, I came down here. So from 4th grade to graduating high school, I've been raised in here.
Why the move from Alaska to Atlanta of all places? Was it a certain reason?
My older cousin, he was supposed to have been like the first one to go to college in the family. So he wanted he got accepted into Morehouse, and he started going to Morehouse. But my aunt and everybody didn't want to have him come here by himself. It wasn't comfortable. He was the oldest and stuff like that. So everybody moved, and we unfortunately been living here for a long time.
Now, I'm sure people are going to wonder, why was your brother born in Alaska of all places?
To be honest, and I guess that's what my mom was. That's what my mom was. Ain't no telling.
That's an interesting place to be.
Well, my brother and my brother and my little cousin, they both were born up there, but my uncle moved it. We moved there because he was in the military. So my mom, she's been the baby. She's the baby of the family, so she go wherever my aunt go and shit like that. So
that might be a reason.
Yeah.
Do you remember Alaska at all?
Yeah, I remember like yesterday, vividly.
What was the coldest temperature you seen when you were out there?
Man, that temperature can get down to 10, 20 below. Like, it's cold, real cold. The difference between here and Atlanta is like, it's a wet cold. It's like a dry cold, right? It's like a dry cold here, but there it's like a wet cold, like because of the snow and stuff like that. So it seems like it's colder because you got to deal with it being wet and the wind blowing and stuff like that. But I would not move back. I'm sorry.
I heard it's way darker in terms of sunlight. It's way darker more of the year in Alaska than in other places in the United States too.
Yeah, it's like 6 months darker. It's 6 months like that and 6 months, light or whatever the case is. But like I said, I would not want to go back and live there. I will go visit. The best thing about it is, like if you live there for more than a year or two or something like that.
Something with your taxes, right?
Yeah, you get dividends, which they pay you to live there pretty much
because
of the oil and stuff like that. So it probably be like a little check, like $1,200, $1,500, something like that.
But I would think it's probably more expensive to live out there because you got to import everything in there.
It is.
Like you got to send food out there, and you got to send this, and you got to send that.
It is. I was reading something.
It's not like they could just take a truck and just truck it up there, I don't think, right?
Well, they can. They can. Because we drove down here.
But do they got to go through Canada for that?
Yeah, you got to go through Canada. So I've been to Canada. We drove here, like, never again. Never again, like, ever.
Do you still have family in Indianapolis or Alaska?
I have family in Indianapolis, like my mom's family and stuff like that. But if you want to consider like my cousin, his wife, and her family and stuff like that, they still live there. I mean, still family.
Do you visit either one of those places?
I haven't been back to Alaska, but I've been back to Indiana what's this year? I go back every year, all the time. Okay. So still home. Ain't know me up there.